Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video I will show you in ASP.NET Core how to create the auto search drop down list control with HTML5 data list element. And here we got the final output of that application. Notice the header tags creating auto search filter using HTML5 data list in ASP.NET Core version 3.0. Now notice when I mouse over on the text box control, there is a drop down button control. When I click that one, so here we got all the courses. Now let's search for a. See here the auto search functionality is working. Angular.js. If I search for jQuery. That's it. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. Before writing the coding part in ASP.NET Core, first we'll check the table and the column name I want to bind into a drop-down list control. The table name is a courses which contains two columns, course ID and course name. Now my aim is I want to create the auto search filter drop-down list control with HTML5 data list element in ASP.NET Core. So let's write the coding part. For this video tutorial, I'm creating a new ASP.NET Core web application. Go to File, New, Project, and I'm selecting the ASP.NET Core web application. Click Next. The application name is Auto Search DDL, which is a drop-down list. Core is the project name, and I want to save this project in the D drive in the project folder. Click Create, and the template I'm selecting web application with razor pages, and the version ASP.NET Core I'm using 3.0. After that, click Create. And the project is created successfully. Let's close this default window. First, in this project, open Solution Explorer. I'm adding my connection string in this app settings.json file. Open that one. In this JSON file, between curly braces, I'm adding between double quotes the connection strings, colon, curly braces, my connection, which is my connection string name, colon, double quotes. Now in these double quotes, I'm adding the data source of the connection string. So to get the connection string, open Server Explorer. Notice in the Server Explorer there is a data connections folder. Right click that one, add connection, and I'm adding my SQL server name is user PC. After adding SQL server name, now I'm selecting the database name. The table I have created in this new DB database, so I'm selecting the new DB database. This is the new DB database. Test connection is okay. And here the new db.dbo is added under data connections in Server Explorer. Now we require the data source of this new DB. Right click the mouse, go to properties. In the properties there is a connection string which contains the data source. Copy that one and paste between these double quotes. And after that, the final step, we need to close this connection string with a comma. Next step, after adding the data source in this JSON file, open Solution Explorer. We'll add a new folder called Models folder. Right click the Add New folder. and the folder name is models. Now in this models folder I am adding the class files. The first class file is a POCO class file which contains only the public properties. So let's add the class. Right click the models folder, add class, and the class name is course class. Add, and here we got our course class. Now in this course class, first I am adding the namespace using system.componentModel.dataInsertions. After that, let's add the key method, then add the properties. Prop double tap, which will create the properties. The first property is the integer type, and the property name is, we have to add the column name of the tables. The first property name I am adding the course ID. Copy that one. Course ID. Copy that one. Paste here. And the second property, which is a string type, and the property name is course name. Copy that one. Paste here. So after adding the properties, next step, open Solution Explorer. We'll add a new class for the DB context class. Again, right click the models folder, add class. In this class name I'm adding application DB context class. And here we got our application DB context class. The purpose I have added this class, I want to inherit the DB context class. So let's inherit the DB context colon DB context. The DB context class belongs to the Microsoft.Entity Framework namespace. So first let's add the package here using Microsoft.Entity Framework. If you notice here in the drop down list we don't have any entity framework. So let's first install the Microsoft.Entity Framework package into our project. Delete this one, and also delete the colon DBC. Open Solution Explorer. Before adding the packages, first let's open the dependencies folder. Notice in this dependencies folder we don't have any packages folder. So let's install the necessary packages for this project. Right click the project name, select manage nurtured packages, go to browse and search for Microsoft Entity Framework core. This is the one I'm looking for, and here we got the Microsoft.Entity Framework core. Select that one. The version I'm using 3.0.0. Click install. Okay, let's accept the license. And the package is installed successfully. Now the next package I want to install the SQL Server. Select that one, click install. Okay, I accept. And the Entity Framework Code.SQL Server package is installed successfully. Next we require the design. Select that one and click install. Okay, accept the license. And the design package is also installed successfully. Now the last package we require the tools package, which is this one, Microsoft.Entity Framework Code.Tools. Select that one and click install. Okay, accept the license. and the tools package is also installed successfully. Up to now we have added 4 packages into our project folders. Let's check that one. Open Solution Explorer and the packages. Oops, here this one, the design package is installed not properly, so let's again install this package. First uninstall. See, the package is uninstalled now. Let's install again. Select that one, click install. When the design is installed, let's check. See, now we don't have any error messages here. All the 4 packages are installed successfully into our project dependencies folder. And now let's close this nudget package window. We don't require this one. Close the error list and the output message box. Now in the application DB context class, we'll add the package using Microsoft.Entity Framework. See, now we got the Entity Framework code namespace. Then let's add the DB context in the DB context class. After that, let's create the constructor for this class. CTOR double tab, it will create the constructor for the class. Then we need to add the DB context options. The context type we are getting from this application DB context class. Options colon base options. Then let's add the property. The type of the property is DB set. In this DB set, the entity, the class name I am adding, which is a course class. And the last one, the property name must be our table name. So here our table name is the courses. Just copy that one and paste here. So now the next step, open Solution Explorer. Notice in the project we have the startup.cs file at the bottom. So open that file. Now in this startup.cs file we'll add our services. So before that we need to import the namespace using Microsoft.Entity Framework core package, and also we need to add the models folder also, auto search DDL code, which is my project name .models folder. After adding these 2 namespaces, now in the startup class there is a configure service method which contains the services. Let's add the services add DB context. The DB context, in this add DB context I'm adding application and DB context class. The context type I'm getting from this application DB context class. Then add the options dot use SQL server. The use SQL server method takes a string parameter which is our connection string name. So configuration dot get connection string, between double quotes I am adding my connection string. Open app settings.json file. My connection name is my connection. Copy that one and paste here and close with the semicolon, the services. That's it. Up to now we have added our connection string in the app settings.json file. Then we have created one POCO class which contains the public properties, which are the table columns, and we have created the application DB context class to inherit the DB context types. Then in the startup.cs file we have added the services. Now the next step, let's open the Razor pages in the project. Notice this is a pages folder. Expand that one, and this pages folder contains some default pages. I'm opening the index.cshtml, which is our project home page, and here in the index.cshtml design page I'm deleting this p tag I'm adding the heading is creating auto search filter drop down list h4 using HTML5 data list in ASP.NET Core 3.0 version. After that, I'm adding horizontal line. Now, before adding the control data list element to this index view page, first let's visit the page model. Right click the mouse and go to page model. In the index.cshtml page model, notice we got some default code, the private read only, one constructor of this class, and one void onGet method. And let's import the namespace using Microsoft.Entity Framework code. Then add a models folder also using auto project name .models folder. Next step, delete this default code ilogger. Instead of that, I'm adding my application db context class underscore cc. Then in the constructor also, I'm adding application db context class cc underscore cc is equals to cc semicolon. Then let's create the property prop double tab. I'm adding IEnumerable. In this IEnumerable, I'm adding the out t type and the elements we are getting from the course class and the property name. Here property name you can add anything, so course names, I'm adding the property name. After that, in the void onGet method, I'm adding the course name is equals to underscore cc dot and courses, which is our table name. This is a table name dot toList method. That's it. We have written the code to fetch records from the course table and saved into this IEnumerable property name course names. Now let's add this course name in the index.cshtml. Now after the horizontal line, I am adding the HTML5 element, which is the data list. In this data list, I'm adding the options element. About data list, I'm adding between this data list, I'm adding for each loop variable item in model dot the course names, the property name from this page model, IEnumerable property names, names. Then curly brackets, I'm closing the curly bracket after the options tag. Now in this options tag, I'm binding the data at item dot, I want to bind the course name. Now the main important step, let's add the input type is equals to search and list is equals to, in the list we have to add the data list ID. So ID of the data list is, I'm adding the data1 is the ID of the data list. Let's copy this ID and add in the list property and also add the input type search control search ID and placeholder is equals to enter course. Let's close this input text box control. That's it, we have done the complete coding part. Now it's time to check the results on the browser. Browse with, and I'm selecting the Google Chrome browser, set as default, click browse. And here we got the final output of that application. Notice the header tags creating auto search filter using HTML5 DataList in ASP.NET Core version 3.0. Now notice when I mouse over on the text box control, there is a drop down button control. When I click that one, so here we got all the courses. Now let's search for a. So here the auto search functionality is working, AngularJS. If I search for jQuery, that's it.